Take two.
Being 6:03 on January 11th, we will call the Facilities Committee to order. The first order of business will be roll call. It appears everybody is in attendance, so we have a full quorum. Public comments. Do we have public comment? Okay, no public comment. Moving forward, items placed at the request of the chair, there are none for this one. The staff and recreation reports, fair and fair board. Is Deb with us?
Deb is not able to join us this evening.
Okay, we will move on to facilities and parks division.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Oh.
Sorry. My mistake. We'll go back to C, approval of last month's meetings. Actually is the meeting of November 30th. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved by Don, seconded by Tim. Supervisor Lee. Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion or minutes are approved. And with no public comment, we will move on down back to the staff and recreation reports, facilities and parks.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Staff have been working on completing work orders, performing preventive maintenance and completing some of the smaller projects that we've had going on. Busy with snow removal from the snowstorms that we've had and the ice. So we've been putting lots of salt out there and moving the snow and getting that taken care of. Our asbestos abatement project was completed. That went well. That was on the old boiler room, the old outside laundry building, and the old carpenter / electrical shop. Those buildings are now closer to the demolition portion of what we want to do, get them out of there. And then the old laundry building that is ready to make more into our cold storage building. We have stuff stored in it right now. But with the asbestos abatement project, they removed the windows and frames because the glazing was asbestos containing material on it. So the windows are out. We have those temporarily covered up with some plywood so that it's weather tight for the rest of the winter. And then spring we'll look at what we want to do on that as far as getting the openings closed up. I don't have any updates on the fleet vehicles. More information on that. We have Abrina with us this evening for she wants to give us not her full report. She's not quite ready for that, but she wants to give us an update on her report. So Abrina, if you give us the information that you have.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Yeah, I will just provide a brief update on my project. I am still working on the project, and I thank the committee for all your patience as I've been, facing a few challenges not really related to the project, and I won't go into detail, but essentially, I have completed most of the project. It took a long time to manually enter in all of those electricity bills. And so that was very time consuming, but I'm working on a software online called the Energy Star Portfolio Manager. So currently that is housing all of the electricity use data for all the buildings that I'm building a profile for. Just to give you kind of a sneak peek at what my results for this project might look like. And this is just a very, kind of common sense. I'm sure most of you can pretty much guess the results of this, but essentially paying for electricity is very expensive. We've on planet Earth, we've kind of exhausted all of our very cheap, affordable fuel options. So electricity is getting more expensive and natural gas is getting more expensive. And it is also expensive to invest in renewable energy as well. But with the idea that the county wants to reach 100% renewable energy by 2050, my results, again, just a little sneak peek, is going to suggest something like the facilities committee working on reducing the amount of electricity buildings are using currently, like replacing old appliances, investing in other technologies to improve energy efficiency in buildings, which includes things like having LED lights, and there's some other social aspects such as signage you can put up about turning off lights, very simple things that are cost effective and not very expensive to implement. So then once those are implemented and the buildings are a little bit more efficient, my suggestion is probably going to be something like investing the savings that you're not spending on your electricity bill into renewable energy, such as solar panels, for example, or some other options the county was interested in, such as geothermal. So that's just a little sneak peek on my project. It's a very comprehensive document that is turning into almost a book size report, but there is a lot that is going into it. So yeah, again, I just thank you all for your patience on the project. And I just wanted to be here to touch base and let you all know that I'm still working on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Abrina. Anyone have any questions for Abrina?
I'd just like to thank you for all the work you're putting into it and what you're contributing back for us to use in the future to move forward. So thank you very much for what you're doing.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing. Thank you. And we're sure looking forward to your final report.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
All right, that's all I have. Any questions for me? What I have to report?
And I just have one quick question.
Yes.
Most of our energy bill comes from Dunn Energy, or is it come from Excel?
It comes from Excel.
From Excel at
Yep.
this particular point.
Yep.
In reading the report from Dunn Energy this last month, they were expecting an increase of anywhere from 8 to 10% for their electricity costs. Are you seeing anything in the future for that from Excel?
I haven't seen from Excel. I guess I haven't been up to date on that as far as where we're at, but I will check into that. See if they're expecting that also.
I was just wondering, for future.
Yep.
What are we gonna be looking?
Yeah, I'll definitely check into that. I've talked with name escapes me, my contact with Excel and
Bill, George.
it's on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, I'll check into following up with him.
All right, not a problem, just.
Yeah.
On energy, I guess I just like to perk everyone's interest a little bit at this time onto some more of as we get the report back from Abrina, maybe we start looking more into some of the renewable energy, some of the solar and some of the geothermal, as far as ways to maybe get some grants, different options that we will have in the future moving forward to maybe start putting together some presentations on how we can move the county in that direction. If it makes sense financially, that we can maybe save some money and just start exploring some of those options. So everyone just kind of wants to start thinking more that way as far as how we can find some money. Maybe the state has money they want to give away. They got some extra right now. But like to see us start to address that and have more communication regarding that. I don't know if anyone has anything they want to bring to the table at this time.
Yeah,
Don.
Mr. Chairman. I was just wondering, this is an open question to anybody who wants to address it, but you know, there's quite a bit of money in this, one of these bills, and I forget which one it was that was passed. And there's a lot of money in there for renewable energy. And I was wondering if anybody has a feeling for how that will be distributed. I thought I read where it'll go down to the state, and then the state distributes it. And have we heard anything from the county association or anything about what might happen, what we might get from the state or from the feds?
Have you heard anything? Doesn't look like anybody has any knowledge on that at this time,
Yeah.
Don.
It's probably a little early yet, you know, but I'm hoping we'll kind of keep abreast of that also, because we might get some money there too that we could put in geothermal or something. So,
And I'm hoping you'll be on top of that, Don, because you're pretty sharp when it comes to that.
I'll try. I don't have much else to do right now, so.
All right, moving forward, corporation council, do you have anything for us at this time?
Sorry, I have to borrow your microphone. Mine's not working. I'm not prepared yet to give a final opinions and recommendations regarding the transfer station property. But I'm still working on it and I've made progress.
Thank you very much. We know you've been busy. Considerations for action to be taken by the committee. We do have on the agenda camping in the county parks, but at this time, we're still waiting for from more paperwork coming back from corporate council, which they've kind of got other priorities. Right now, we're not doing a lot of camping at this time, but I will nudge corporate council to maybe this spring we can start addressing that. Hopefully by spring, we have something to look at least partially, maybe not the entire rec park, but outlying parks. And, okay, I don't see. Consideration, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, last month we had just briefly did. Oh,
So yours isn't working either.
oh,
What
okay.
about the one next year?
Is that one?
Try that one. Nope.
You gotta turn them on.
Oh, here we go. How's that?
All right.
I think we're up and running now. Anyway, in regards to land purchase, we had briefly spoke about that last month at our meeting about the adjoining property on the rec park. And just wondering if there was any action in regards to that. If anybody had an opportunity to discuss anything with a realtor. So I checked into that and it appears that that property is no longer on the market. No longer listed. I don't know that it was sold or if it was pulled from the market. That I don't know. But it's no longer listed with the realtor. So it's a non-issue then, huh? Right at this point. Okay.
Well, if it comes back up, we'll have to give it a consideration.
I did talk to an assessor that looked into it. One of our county board supervisors actually, and it appears that their asking price was significantly higher than the acreage purchased adjacent to it. And within like a last year or two, not sure the time frame when it was purchased, but they were asking significantly more, like twice as much almost. So it seemed that it was they were kind of expensive.
Not now.
They'll probably get it.
All right.
Thank you, Scott, for checking on that.
You're welcome.
And I was just looking for a place to bring that up, actually.
Okay.
And I didn't see it on their agendas. Considerations or reports, resolutions, ordinance to be recommended to the county board by the facilities committee. We have none at this time. Moving forward, we may want to look at creating some legislative agenda item to take forward to maybe encourage them to find money for renewable energy. Maybe we can get them to put something on the legislative agenda for grants or something to help the counties with, or government agencies with renewable energy, because renewable energy grants that are out there now are mostly, as Don tells me, they were mostly federal rebates, tax rebates, which since we're not paying taxes, we're not going to get the rebates. So it excludes us from getting any money back on the renewable energy, the solar or any of that. So maybe we look at trying to put together a something to put on the legislative agenda for next year.
It's a grant program. Let's see if something can be written up for that.
Something to get our politicians, or maybe the WCA to start working on politicians. I mean, it don't hurt to start asking, and we haven't, this committee hasn't asked for much, so maybe we can ask for something on the legislative agenda next year.
Just wondering if the WCA conference that's coming up this spring, if there's any information that they may have some breakout session or something like that in regards to renewable energy. I don't know if anybody's seen anything on the agenda. I'm still trying to figure out how to get there myself. You go.
Don, did you see anything on that agenda, or maybe you didn't look at it since you're not going?
I didn't look real closely, but I don't remember. I don't remember, but I think it'd be good to check. And if somebody is going, it'd be good to attend that session if they could. But right now, I'm not sure there is anything on the agenda. Because I usually go through the resolutions, and rarely is there anything on energy in there, unfortunately.
Last time I went, there was quite a bit of stuff about pipelines, from Enbridge and all those corporations.
Yeah.
But nothing in regards to renewable, but I don't think that's in their best interest, more likely.
And hopefully some of the members of this committee can make it down to that conference. I think we all got an email recently. I will not be able, I'll be out of the country for that trip, that time frame, but I regret not making it.
I can't go either.
There does not appear to be anything related to energy on the agenda. What do you say?
There does not appear to be anything on the agenda
Nothing on-
related to energy. All right, we're moving pretty fast tonight. We've reached the end of our agenda. The next item is the next meeting, and I think maybe Scott has some input as far as our next meeting.
I'm working with finance about getting our carry forward ready to go. Those are normally done in a January, at a January meeting. And so with ours being earlier, that wasn't prepared yet for this meeting. So normally we would have had a January meeting on the 25th. If it can be put into February's meeting and still have time for finance, then we would do it in February's meeting. But I don't know that information at this point.
So at this time, we may need another meeting, the end of January or beginning of February.
Yes,
And would that first week of February work? If that works, maybe we look at, since we probably weren't gonna have a meeting in January, since we're having we won't have one till late in February, maybe we could slide that up to that first week of February.
that's a possibility if we tentatively set it for that early. And if we don't have to have it then, would we have the meeting at a regular February date?
I will not be here for that February meeting, so we certainly can still have that.
Or else join, like you say, put the February meeting into early February.
And kind of take care of both at once.
Bring your computer.
I'm gonna, the time is a little off. I plan on trying to do Zoom, but it's like a 15 hours difference. So figure out. What's that, the 7th or 8th?
The
First,
well, the first is a Wednesday and the eighth is the next week.
So you need it earlier, first, we could do the first, second,
First would be fine, I think.
1st of February. Don, Ann, does that work?
That
Yeah.
should be fine.
That should be okay for me too, I hope.
Actually, Steve, you don't have to cover them, so I'm just looking at last year, the carry forward didn't get heard by the county board until March. So you have February, so they could happen in your February meeting at any time in February.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking that, but I was talking with Sarah in
me,
finance
I'll
about
take
that.
What's that? I said, you know me, I'll take all the time I can get.
Mike, will you be in country in early February yet?
I'll be in country until the 9th, so I
Oh,
leave on the 9th and I won't be back until March, the
Okay,
first week of
Well,
March.
it sounds like a good option if the finances can be prepared by that time.
By early February,
Yeah. Mhm.
does that,
It works fine. The question would be to Scott, will you know what you need to carry forward by the first week of February?
I should.
do you want us to go the 7th, the week later? The 1st is good? The 1st of February then? That, all right, let's lock it up for that day then. And then we need to get back to normal.
Anyway, because the March meeting would be after county board.
Yes. So we're good. Anything else to discuss? Then we've covered everything on our agenda and we will move into adjournment. Thank you.
That didn't take long at all.